kick off for the plenary discussion, David Cope, please.
No. Okay, thank you very much. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I find myself at a very advanced age, which I have, in a unique situation here, inasmuch as I'm reporting on or invoking the experience of countries other than my own, and indeed countries outside Europe. But not, given the comment I made in response to the last speaker, not referring to the great world out there of countries which are in the process of development, but instead I'm going to refer to two countries which are amongst the richest in the world, if not the richest, certainly in terms of GDP per capita, namely the United States of America and Japan. And in the case of, and talk about two birds. In the case of America, of course, it's a phoenix. It's a bird which has arisen from having been burnt down, essentially, in 1995. We won't go into the details. It was, of course, the first country to develop a TA function at the US Congress, and then more recently there's been this attempt to re-establish a successful attempt. And I've had the privilege of working with the new TA unit, which is serving the Congress, and it provides a model which we don't have in Europe, and I suggest it to some countries perhaps which are thinking about TA but face some constraints, be they financial or other constraints. Because the new TA function in the States has arisen out of the long-established traditional function of the government accountability, i.e. financial accounting. And this has given the organisation a great strength, because having a small group of TA specialists, they are able to draw upon the staff coming from this wider government accountability function. So people come and work on specific projects, then after the project is finished they go back to their more traditional role. That's extraordinarily interesting, as I say. It's a possible additional model that we don't have in Europe, I think. The other thing that's coming out of the States new, driven by that nature, the government accountability origins of the new unit, is an attempt to codify the entire practice of technology assessment. Now, I know some people amongst my European colleagues are a bit dismissive of that. I actually think it's going to be an extraordinarily valuable process to actually sort of set out, not a checkbook, not a working tick book we'll go through, but an attempt to say this is what an ideal TA should be like. And we would need to have achieved at least some of these characteristics. So I do commend you what's going to be coming out of the States in the next couple of years. To turn to Japan, I think the significance of Japan and the efforts which I think will bear fruition this year to set up a function of Parliament there. It won't so much be processes, which I think will be pretty sort of standard processes, but of course the subjects. In many ways, one of the reasons I'm so interested in the country, Japan will be a pioneer in experiencing things, circumstances which will later on have a direct analogy in Europe. The classic one is actually not energy, although that is one, but it's actually the ageing society. And I think there will be some enormous positive messages that will come out of Japan's analysis of its demographic change over the longer term. But there are others, urban structures, for example, and perhaps relating to Michelle's presentation on urban transport systems. Again, some very interesting analogies there. Can I, in the last 15 seconds, say, okay, I understand the issues of financial constraint, but actually, if TA is what it claims to be, it is at times of financial constraint that you need TA, in a sense, more than ever. Because if it's operating according to the claims made for the process, it should provide pointers, I'm not saying blueprints, but certain pointers towards how to move out of the period of financial constraint, or how to deal, dare I say it, with a period of extended financial constraint. So, accepting all the political reasons for the difficulty, actually it's just the time, more than, say, a period of economic largesse, when one should be adopting TA even more urgently. Thanks.